So we're back here at the Silverstone Museum and I'm showing you another one of our glorious Formula One cars that we have here. We've got this Brabham BT20, the car that Sir Jack Brabham drove to the world title in 1966. And I must say, it's one of the best looking Formula One cars ever made. That glorious long cigar shape. It's absolutely beautiful. A period of Formula One where the cars certainly looked great, but there were some hidden dangers. First of all though, looking at the little details, the suspension, the wishbones and the brakes, looking very much more like a modern racing car, with these wide tyres that were starting to give the drivers a lot of grip. As we move our way along the car, you'll notice the cockpit is nice and slim. Early days of aero with the car being able to cut through the air, and behind the driver we've got this glorious engine. This was the Repco engine, providing a lot of power for this car and showing it along at around 170 miles an hour. Now back in 1966, it's generally known as when motor racing kind of got difficult for Formula One. We started using the engine and the gearbox as the thing that hold the back wheels on. That idea of a torsionally rigid chassis. So as well as where the driver sits, we've got this engine holding the gearbox and then the wheels. But it looks absolutely beautiful. With these lovely aluminium trumpets, it looks absolutely stunning. The driver would sit inside this small seat. Couple of features. This harness is actually here for modern racing. Wouldn't have been quite like that at the time. The drivers had this small steering wheel, dials including water, oil pressure and revs there. Manual gearbox, of course, manually operated here. But the really scary bit, when you look at these metal boxes that go either side of the driver and right the way down to their feet inside the car, these aluminium boxes are actually the fuel tanks. So the drivers are literally sitting inside an aluminium fuel tank. You had to be really brave to drive one of these cars. And it's true, the statistic that Sir Jackie Stewart used to say, a life expectancy of a Grand Prix driver during the 60s and 70s was actually lower than that of a pilot in the Battle of Britain. And when you look in the inside of these cars, looking at the fuel tanks, it's not hard to see why. You had to be really brave to drive these cars. So whilst this car is beautiful, the other side to it is it's really deadly. The other little piece of trivia for this car, it's the only car where a driver has also been the manufacturer and won the world title. Other drivers at the time were trying to do so, notably Bruce McLaren with the McLaren, but Sir Jack achieved it in 1966 in this wonderful BT20. Here at the Silverstone Museum, we invite you to come and get a really close-up look as part of our Summer of F1 collection.